The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Just a little while ago, President Obama came out. He made a statement at the White House press briefing room about plans regarding guns and gun regulations following up on the Newton Sandy Hook School massacre. Let's listen to a little bit of what he had to say, and then we'll discuss it.
Is complex, can no longer be an excuse for doing nothing. The fact that we can't prevent every act of doesn't mean we can't steadily reduce the violence and prevent the very worst violence. That's why I've asked the Vice President to lead an effort that includes members of my cabinet and outside organizations to come up with a set of concrete proposals no later than January, proposals that I then intend to push without delay. This is not some Washington commission. This is not something where folks are going to be studying the issue for 6 months and publishing a report that gets read and then pushed aside. This is a team that has a very specific task to pull together real reforms right now. I asked Joe to lead this effort in part because he wrote the 1994 crime bill that helped law enforcement bring down the rate of violent crime in this country. That plan, that bill also included the assault weapons ban that was publicly supported at the time by former presidents, including Ronald Reagan.
So then he also goes on to say that we should get an actual vote on the head of the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which hasn't happened for 6 years. They've really kind of been without an official head of the ATF for some time now. So, okay, this is what President Obama wants to do. We've heard that the NRA is saying they might consider some concessions on some things, and as much as it sickens me to even have to admit that the NRA is actually a factor in these negotiations, they are. What do you think? Are we going to see anything happen or change as a result of this? President Obama saying this is not to be studied for 6 months and then do nothing. It's for now.
Right. Hard to say. I can't imagine. I guess I can imagine a ban on assault weapons. But unfortunately, I don't see people who already own them having them taken away.
Yeah. Now, there's a really interesting article that's in the Chronicle of Higher Education, which identifies a number of different myths and realities about gun control. And some of them are myths held by the left, and some of them are myths held by the right. And because President Obama talked about the assault weapons ban, and because you talked about it, I want to read to you what this list of myths says about that. And the myth, as it claims, is that restoring the federal ban on assault weapons would prevent this type of crime. And it indicates the reality is that the overwhelming majority of mass murderers use firearms that would not even be restricted by an assault weapons ban. In fact, semi-automatic handguns are far more prevalent in mass shootings. Of course, limiting the size of ammunition clips would at least make the gunman pause to reload. So that is a factor. Even though the assault weapons that would be banned by the ban often aren't the ones used in these shootings, I still think that figuratively, if there is the will to do that, it can be done as part of a broader thing, because even if those aren't the source of the shooting, do we really need those weapons, right? It still seems to be okay. I just don't want it to be misconstrued as the solution.
Right. It's just part of the solution. It can help. It can only help.
No question about it. Now, the other issue is we really have to talk about this idea that mass shootings are on the rise. I've looked up as much information as I can about this, and the evidence I've found suggests that over the last 3 decades, there have been about 20 mass shootings a year in the United States, each with at least 4 victims killed. And it seems that sometimes by coincidence they do happen clustered together, sometimes they don't, but that it's really more of a media coverage thing, the instant and pervasive and constant media coverage that we've talked about, that has made it appear as though they are on the rise. But if people have other information, please correct me, but I've not seen evidence that the mass shootings are on the rise.
Right, but of course, anytime there's a mass shooting, you suddenly start hearing about much smaller, more minor shootings happening all across the country. Like I said on a show earlier, we live next to a city that has shootings just about every day, and we don't even hear about them.
Right.
We live right next door.
So I do agree that the ammunition thing is a big factor. If people increasingly have trouble getting ammunition for the guns that they like using, it is far more likely that they will not use that weapon at all or not keep it as an active weapon. So for people saying doing only A or B or C doesn't have an effect, all of these things together could have an effect. Let's wait and see. According to President Obama, it won't be long until we know what the proposal is.
Hopefully.